In this video, we are going to cover how you can make shit ton of money in your coaching business by delegating the right task to the right person at the right time. And if you're new to this video, hi, my name is Himanshu Khandekar and I am a business consultant for coaches. In the last 6 years, I have worked with over 150 coaches across various different industries, and my strategies have helped them generate over 35 crores in combined client revenue. Without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. The topic of the video is economics of delegation, why delegating is the smartest business decision that you can make in your life right now. So I am in that age in my life where every distant relative, a family friend or a random auntie feels that it's their duty to help me get married. They keep saying things like, beta, yahi umar hai, jaldi shadi kar. And some of them even show up with a literal list of suitable women, and then they go ahead, pick one. And most of the time I manage to dodge these conversations. But sometimes they just trap you. There is no escape route and there is no excuse that is strong enough for you to get out of the situation. And one such day, a distant relative, who I call a certified auntie, then she cornered me and asked me this very uncomfortable question. She said, beta, तुझे जॉब वाली लड़की चाहिए या फिर हाउसवाइफ चाहिए? And my first thought was, I don't think it's any of your business or my business. It's her life and it's her choice. But I knew that response would be way too much for her to digest. So I just said कि जॉब वाली चाहिए आंटी, डबल इनकम से घर अच्छा चलता है ना आजकल, इतना महंगाई बढ़ गया है. She nodded and she seemed satisfied, but then she hit me with this one piece of advice that blew my mind. She said, it's okay to marry a working girl, but don't marry someone who earns too much, because if she earns too much, then she won't do the household chores. And then I asked her, if she is making good money, then why the hell would she waste her time doing household chores? And that's when she went on patriarchy pro max on me, and then I realized that this conversation has no future beyond that point. But here's the thing. After that conversation, I realized something very important. Now, keeping the patriarchy and traditional thinking aside, most people, whether they are housewives, salaried employees, or even business owners, they have absolutely zero understanding of what I call the economics of delegation. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what the economics of delegation actually is, and more importantly, how you can use in your coaching, consulting, or services business and make a lot of money. So let's start with the basics. The phrase economics of delegation has two important words, economics and delegation. So delegation simply means that giving the work that you're currently doing or giving the responsibility that you're currently holding to someone else. So in simple words, the economic of delegation refers to having a clear understanding of when exactly it is financially smart for you to hand over tasks to someone else. So let me explain it with an example from the same story that we started with. Let's say that you are a woman who works 5 days in a week and earns 2 lakh rupees a month. Now most jobs in India have a roughly 7-hour workday. So every month you are working for 168 hours. So that you get from multiplying 6 days in a week, 7 hours in a day, and 4 weeks in a month. So 6 into 7 into 4, that is 168. So which means your per hour value comes around to rupees 1190. So that means every single hour you spend doing something other than work during your working hours, you are effectively losing 1190 rupees. Now let's say that you hire a cook instead of doing the work yourself. So in a tier 2 city where I live, I can easily find a decent cook for around 10,000 rupees a month, and they will prepare a very good 2-course meal for you. Now let's calculate their per hour value. So I'm assuming that cooking a meal will take like 4 hours. So they'll work for 6 days in a week, for 4 hours in a day, for 4 weeks in a month. That's 96 hours a month. So their per hour value comes around to rupees 104. So every hour you spend on cooking instead of working, it's costing you like 1190 minus 104, that is 1086 rupees per hour. So if cooking is taking you 4 hours in a day, then you are bleeding over 4000 rupees every single day by just not delegating a simple task as cooking your meals. So this is how people who don't understand economics of delegation end up leaving so much money on the table even when they are fully capable of making so much more. Now obviously this is just a simplified example to help you understand the concept clearly, but the actual process of delegation in a business is far more nuanced. And this is what exactly we are going to cover right now, the step-by-step process of efficient delegation for a coaching, consulting, or a services business. The first step that you have to do is you have to calculate your per hour value. So no matter what you're doing in your business right now, every single task has a per hour value attached to it. And since you're watching this video on delegation, I'm assuming that you are currently one person army doing everything in your coaching, consulting, and services business all by yourself. So in that case, to calculate your per hour value, Just take the total revenue that your business generated in the last financial year and divide it by 2200. Why 2200? So 2200 is just a rough estimate of the total number of working hours in a year. So for example, let's say that your business made 30 lakhs last year. So your per hour value will be 30 lakhs divided by 2200, that is 1363. Why do I want you to calculate your per hour value? Now here's the reason I want you to calculate this number. Think of it as your baseline and then you have to recalculate this every single quarter. So every quarter, any task whose per hour value falls below the per hour value that you calculated in the previous quarter, that task is now eligible to be delegated. Simple, right? But the next question is, how do you even know which tasks to delegate? For that, we move ahead to step 2, which is daily task tracking and grading. Once you have decided that you are in a position to delegate, I want you to do this one activity every single day for the next 14 days. Create a simple Excel sheet and track everything that you do during your working hours and update it every 15 minutes. And along with the task, give it 2 grades. First, a monetary grade. If a task generates low monetary output, give it 1 star. And if a task generates high monetary output, give it 5 stars. Similarly, there will be an effort grade. If a task requires low involvement and effort, give it 1 star. And if a task that requires high involvement and effort, give it 5 stars. Do this honestly and consistently every single day for the next 14 days without fail. Now, by the end of 14 days, you will start seeing a clear pattern of tasks that repeat regularly. Mark those tasks green. Now once you do this properly, you will have a crystal clear picture of exactly which task that needs to be delegated. Till now we have identified what are the tasks that needs to be delegated. But the next important question is, in what order we can start delegating the tasks. So which are the tasks that you need to delegate first, and then which are the tasks that you need to delegate later. And to answer those questions, we move ahead to next step. Step number 3, the delegation sequence quadrant. Now that you have listed all your tasks and graded them on monetary value and effort, I want you to put them on a simple graph. The x-axis represents the monetary benefit of the task and y-axis represents your involvement that is required for that particular task. As you can see, once you start doing that, you will have 4 quadrants, quadrant 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let's understand what each of these quadrants mean. Let's start with quadrant number 1. So quadrant 1 will have those tasks that has high monetary value and they require high involvement from you. So these are the tasks that makes most money in your business and they also require a high involvement from you. Let's understand quadrant number 2. So quadrant number 2 are the tasks that have low monetary value but still they require high involvement from you. These are the high effort tasks but they do not generate proportional returns. The next quadrant is quadrant number 3. So these are the tasks that have low monetary value and does not require your much involvement. These are the easy tasks, but they are not particularly that valuable in your business. They are important, but not that valuable. And finally, we move ahead to quadrant number 4. So quadrant number 4 will involve tasks that has high monetary value, but does not require your involvement that much. So they have high return, but they do not necessarily require you to do them. So now you have categorized all the different tasks in 4 different quadrants. This is the sequence in which you need to delegate. And it is the reverse of what most people assume. So you need to delegate the quadrant 4 first. These are the tasks that generate high monetary value for your business, but they don't necessarily require your personal involvement, which means they are the easiest to hand out without disrupting your business. Now for a coaching, consulting or services business, these are the tasks that typically includes tasks like running Facebook, Instagram or Google ads or building and managing your sales funnel or similar execution heavy work. So next you need to delegate the task on quadrant number 3. So these are the tasks that have low monetary value and does not require your much involvement. So these are the tasks that can be handled by a virtual assistant with minimal training. So these can be things like client onboarding or giving platform access or replying to basic messages or some sort of administrative tasks. Then next you need to delegate quadrant number 2. These are a bunch of trickier tasks because they require your involvement but also have low monetary value for your business as compared to your core work. So to delegate these tasks effectively, you need to build proper systems in your business first. So for a coaching, consulting or services business, these can be tasks like content writing, copywriting, social media management or media buying, all those things. Now to delegate this efficiently, you have to create standard operating procedures. You have to create internal company playbooks. So playbooks are nothing but internal courses, trainings and step-by-step processes that your employees or your team may have to go through in order to deliver kind of similar results as you deliver while doing them. So whoever you hire, if once they go through this system and if they are able to consistently deliver at least 80% of the output, that means you've done the job properly. And finally, quadrant number 1. So these are the tasks that you never delegate or very rarely delegate in your coaching, consulting or lifestyle based business. These can be tasks like creating content or building the right strategy for your client or working on your product. These are the tasks that only you can do at your level, and frankly, these are the also tasks that you want to be doing. Your ultimate goal in your business should be architect your business in such a way that 100% of your working hours are spent on doing quadrant 1 tasks only. Now, if you follow step 1, 2 and 3 honestly and consistently, I promise you that you will fall in love with your business again. You will spend your days doing only the work you enjoy, the work you are best at, while everything else will be handled by your team or by your contractors. And it takes time. I'm not going to lie about that. But once you get there, it's genuinely the most beautiful feeling in the world. So once you have cleared everything outside of quadrant 1, you will find yourself with a lot of free time. And most people and most coaches make the mistake of following their first instinct, which is it is time to relax. So they watch Netflix, they hang out with friends, or they even travel. But my advice to you would be, don't do that, at least not yet. Because here's the trap. You have freed up your time, but your expenses have gone up because you have built a team. Your earning capability hasn't automatically gone up yet. So what to do now? So the smartest thing that you can do with the required time is something that we discuss in the next step, which is step number 4, invest in yourself. The time that you have bought back by paying others should be reinvested directly into upgrading your skills and your business. You need to learn how to make money, learn how to create better products, learn how to create better marketing materials, and learn how to get bigger and bigger clients. Because that's exactly how you level up in the business game. You begin with delegating the current level, you free up your time, and use that time to learn the next level, unlock the new revenue, delegate that too, and then repeat the entire process. So this is the compounding loop that separates businesses that plateau at 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month and the ones who consistently scale to 10, 20 or even 50 lakh rupees a month. That's all we want to cover in this video. That's the economics of delegation. So do let me know in the comment section how do you like the video, whether it give you some sort of value, and are you still bleeding time and money in your business. Now if you are a coach who is just starting out and you want to understand the step-by-step process on how to build a coaching business that makes 20 lakh rupees a month, go ahead and watch this video next. Till then, see you later. Bye.